Good day, I will be discussing our case study about the importance of distinguishing between a particular application layer, application associated service, and protocol. The Open System Interconnection or OSI model is a reference tool for understanding data communication between any two network systems. It divides the communication processes into 7 layers. The Open System Interconnection Model or OSI model is a product of the Open System Interconnection effort at the International Organization for Standardization. It is a way of subdividing a communication system into smaller parts called layers. A layer is a collection of conceptually similar functions that provide services to the layer above it and receive services from the layer below it. On each layer, an instance provides services to the instances at the layer above and requests service from the layer below. An application layer or layer 7 is an abstraction layer that specifies the shared protocols and interface methods used by hosts in a communication network. The application layer protocols provide rules for communications between applications. To ensure smooth communication, the application layer protocols implemented on the source host and the destination host must be the same. The service system layer is a set of standards, techniques, and methods to guide to the design, development, operation, and management of service-oriented software system under the service-oriented computing environment. The early successes of computer network in the mid-1970s made it apparent that to utilize the full potential of computer networks, international standard will be required. In 1977, the International Standard Organization or ISO initiated work on Open System Interconnection or OSI to address these requirements. The OSI model is the highest level of abstraction in the OSI scheme. The paper first described the basic building blocks used to construct the network model. The Open System Interconnection or OSI model is a reference tool for understanding data communication between any two network systems. It divides the communication processes into 7 layers. Each layer performs specific function to support the layers above it and offers services to the layers below it. The 3 lowest layers focus on passing traffic through the network to an end system. The top 4 layers come into play and the end system to complete the process. An application layer or layer 7 is an abstraction layer that specifies the shared protocols and interface method used by hosts in a communication network. The application layer abstraction is used in both of the standard models of computer networking, the Internet Protocol Suites, TCP or IP, and the Open System Interconnection model. Protocols enable an entity in one host to interact with a corresponding entity at the same layer in another host. Service definitions abstractly describe the functionality provided to an n layer by an n-1 layer, where n was one of the 7 layers of protocols operating in the local host. The application layer protocols provide rules for communication between applications. To ensure smooth communication, the application layer protocols implemented on the source host and the destination host must be the same. The service system layer is a set of standards, techniques, and methods to guide the design, development, operation, and management of service-oriented software system under the service-oriented computing environment. The Open System Interconnection model is a 7-layer structure that specifies the requirements for communication between two computers. The ISO or International Organization for Standardization Standard 7498-1 define this model. This model allows all network elements to operate together, no matter who created the protocols and what computer vendor supports them. The application layer, as the highest layer of OSI, does not provide services to any other layer. The primary concern of the application layer is with the semantics of the application. All application processes reside in the application layer. However, only part of the application layer is in the real OSI system. Those aspects of the application process concerned with the inter-process communication called the application entity are within the OSI environment. EC16 is developing the Common Application Service elements that provide common procedures for constructing application protocols and for accessing the services of OSI. EC16 is also developing three application protocols of general interest, virtual file, virtual terminal, and job transfer and manipulation services, as well as OSI application and system management protocols. This application layer is responsible for providing services and determines a set of protocols for message passing at the application level. This survey addresses a set of application layer protocols that are being used today for Internet of Things to affirm a reliable tie among objects and things. This is the level that the users often interacts with. This is where data turns into website, chat, programs, and so on. Many protocols run at this layer, such as Domain Name Service, File Transfer Protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, NFS, Post Office Protocol version 3, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and Secure Shell. This layer supports application and end-user processes. Communication partners are identified, quality of service is identified, user authentication and privacy are considered, and any constraints on data syntax are identified. Everything at this layer is application specific. This layer provides application services for file transfer, email, and other network software services. Layer 7, the application layer, provides an interface for the end user operating a device connected to a network. This layer is what the user sees in terms of loading an application such as web, browser, or email. That is, this application's layer is the data the user views while using this application. Example of application layer functionality include support for file transfer, ability to print on a network, electronic mail, electronic messaging, browsing the World Wide Web or WWW. The application layer uses protocols that are implemented within applications and services. Applications provide people with a way to create messages. Application layer services establish an interface to the network, and protocol provide the rules and formats that govern how data is treated. And some example that I will show you some figure to determine. Therefore, I conclude that application layer in Open System Interconnection or OSI model, the layered concept was developed to accommodate changes in technology. Each layer of a specific network model may be responsible for a different function of the network. Each layer will pass information up and down to the next subsequent layer as data is processed. The application layer and its components, application services, and protocols are important because protocol application layer are used to exchange data between programs running on the source and destination host. Then, application layer services are used network resources like file transfer or network prints, polling. Though transparent to the user, these services are the programs that interface with the network and prepare the data for transfer. Different types of data, whether it is text, graphics, or video require different network services to ensure that it is properly prepared for processing by the function occurring at the lower layer of OSI model. The application or network service uses protocols which define the standard in data formats to be used, so that without protocols, the data network would not have a common way to format and direct data. In order to understand the function of various network services that we experience nowadays, it is necessary to become familiar with the underlying application services and protocols that govern their operation.